All right, people are starting to tune in. All right, can you guys hear me all right? Oh boy. Yeah, that is the number of subscribers I do have. All right. It is time. It is time. But before we get to the development, I promised a statement on the future of the game. Don't worry, it's not scary. It's actually very good. But before we begin the development, I have not. I will be honest with you. I have nothing planned for development. I'm probably just gonna kind of just work on the Game Pass spawner and just kind of, or actually, we'll probably do some work on the getting the engines ready to get spawned. But anyways, I'll get into the statement now. I want to begin by addressing the elephant in the room. The game isn't very active. I will be the first to admit that barely anyone plays it right now, but I'm not deterred. This update that I've been working on since August and during the last two live streams that you have watched will make the game more enjoyable and playable. But if it was not already clear, I am not going to give up because no one is playing right now. Erie Lackawanna is not a game I am making out of a desire for attention or for wealth. This is something I am making to preserve history and to entertain you, me, and my friends. That being said, there comes a point where one needs to course correct. First, starting with the next update, the price of the game will be reduced to make the game accessible to more people. I have been and I will be consulting with my trusted team to determine what the new price will be. Regardless of what it will be, I've said many times before, once the map reaches Chicago, the game will be free. At that point, we will shift to a free game with game passes. Secondly, I'm going to host operation sessions on the game semi regularly starting soon. If you don't know what this means, it's basically an event where people have been given specific trains with specific destinations, and a dispatcher makes sure they don't run into each other. It's trying to recreate how a real railroad would operate. I have created an operations channel on our Discord server that will have information and dates on operations sessions in the game. This has been something that has been very highly suggested and requested by many people, so I think a lot of you will be excited to hear that they're coming. Third, mobile support for the game is going to be temporarily removed for the remainder of the beta period, starting with the release of Beta V2. When the first free version is released, mobile support will return at that time or an update shortly after. Fourth and finally, we will be releasing developer applications for a scripter and a map developer. More information on everything announced here will be released later. I just wanted to get all my thoughts and plans out to you all. All right, that's all I had written. So we can get into it now. Hold on, let me get studio ready. I was already in the map, but I have to switch over to my development thing that I use to actually build stuff in. All right, hold on. Give me a minute. Thank you. Thank you, NWO Rails. Hold on, let me see. The only thing is a bit iffy on mobile. If I had a PCO play, that's my girl. Yeah, no. Savage Train 1. I know the game's iffy on mobile. I would rather shut it down for mobile for beta for now because people are getting a shitty experience on it, and I feel like eh, we should be prioritizing where people can have a good experience. Because think about it, if you can't even play it on mobile, you're not going to have a bad experience. If we're not prioritizing it, we shouldn't have it open for mobile for now. But mobile will, the game should be able to be played on mobile, but I don't have the time to optimize it right now. I'll have the time to optimize it later. Yeah. Um. I think if it was more rolling stock, it would help. Yes, that is true. I know that, and there will be um, randomized consists very soon. And the only reason why you haven't seen more rolling stock is because I'm waiting for randomized consists to come out. I have hopper cars ready to go. I have like different flat car loads that have already been made. Um, if a 70 or making it, well, a man can dream. Dreams don't always come true, but you can dream. All right. Let me just share my screen. We have it ready. Sorry for the delay on that. Just share screen. There we go. Okay. We are now. Oh, whoopsies! I forgot to add it to stage. There we go. Now we're in. Now you can see. Now you can see what is going on. Okay. So I have to basically. These need accurate audio, so I'm not even going to worry about that yet. What I'm going to do right now. Actually, yeah. I'm going to use these passenger cars because I feel like these are kind of a good. Actually, yeah. This is a good thing I can use. Because these are actually rigged. Let me put this right here. Actually, I can just use these. These are sitting on the track. I'll just use these. What we're going to do. One of the biggest problems in the game I've noticed is that the trains accelerate too fast and you derail your train when you're trying to back up with it. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to create this big long train. It's just going to be like probably like something like 8 cars or something, just long enough where you can see the effects of coupling it up. So I'm going to, okay. Oh, hello. We know who that is. Hold on. I'll send it. I haven't sent the link to. Oh, okay. It's him. I am out of it tonight. I thought that was somebody else. I don't know why, but I did. But it is a deterrent for a daily. I do have a great experience. Well, I personally think there should be a warning for mobile users for the predator. That's actually a really good idea. I do still think I am still kind of set on just because we're gonna add a main menu, and I feel like the GUI is not gonna look like very good for that on mobile. Yeah, so you see right now, look at this. I think there's a weight issue with the weight blocks. The weight is too small. So I think there might be a weight issue, but I will see. I think it's partly both. I think it's partly a weight issue and it's partly an acceleration issue. So I'm going to go into. You know what? I'm going to see this. Let's see what this does. Does this fix it? Now it's just not moving. Okay, hold on. All right, now I'm gonna purposely be a little bit rougher with it. Just see what it can handle. I don't like how laggy this is. Is this? Why isn't it doing? Oh, I know why it's doing that. It's because I haven't put the coupler permission scripts in. That appears to have done the trick, though. I'm gonna try that again. Hi. I do see the F40 high. Okay. Jump the track. So it probably is weight. Yeah. I think it is the weight. I think. Hold on. Let me see this. I think it might. I think we might have actually just solved it. Although we've reduced the problem in the span of 30 seconds. I think we actually might have. That might be just what we just did. There's still that. I think it is a weight. You know what? Because think about it. If it's going to be, if the acceleration is actually if the engines are too powerful, make the weight more. Yeah, size this. Okay. NS SD5 and NS 1700. Ooh. Marion, Ohio. The only part that's NS is the former PRR/NNW portion. Not like the former EL parts of Marion are not NS. They're CSX. It's getting better, but it's not. It's not exactly where I want it yet. Is there like density? Density. Okay. What is elasticity weight? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna density. Okay. I'm gonna look what I'm gonna look up that is. The more dense a part is, the more force it takes to accelerate it. Hmm. I don't think that's what we're trying to do. Is just make something like heavier. Would density make a okay. I've looked this up. Density is actually more likely to increase derailment risk. Okay, this is like real trains. I don't know if this is. Okay. Oh, this is like talking about like real railroads. Okay. Okay, never mind. What the heck? Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to do that. Make the size of it that. Troubleshoot it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Okay. All right. This is actually. Now we're talking. Now we're actually talking. Oh, hold on. Hold on. What's that? Hold on. Oh, whoopsies. Hold on. What's going on? Wait, is there a derailment? Oh, what's going on with my. What key is doing that? Yeah. See, what's going on with this? I think the problem isn't weight. I think the problem might be the weld couplers. I think it might just be. I'm a little bit annoyed. So you know what I'm gonna try? I am gonna import in. I made a model of like I did this kind of mock-up. I modified some. One of my friends was working on adapting 6 stud stuff. And yeah. Um most games I've seen have used weld couplers. I personally, I don't care for rope couplers. I don't care for rope couplers, but I will. I'm gonna go. So one of my friends was working on. So actually, this is related to the new Advanced Diesel Chassis remake, but as part of that, it's going to be switching to row scale couplers. And what I did was I took the row scale couplers and I set them up so that they looked like weld couplers. They like look like weld couplers, but they work differently. They have the row scale coupler system or whatever it is. Okay, what is this? This is a coupler. What I'm going to do is go here. Take this out. Take all the scripts here out. What unit is this? Oh. Oh, this is the cab. Oh. Okay. Wow. All right. This is pretty nice. How many parts is it? It's 110 parts. This might need optimization. If I'm going to use this, I want to optimize it because how many parts is this? Like, what is some of these locomotives? Yeah, these locomotives, they're like 100, they're like 200 parts. Like, that's kind of like a third of the engine's part count would be the cab, which I don't really like. But yeah, if it can get, I want to slim that down so we can actually use it. Okay, copper box. We don't need any of this. Get it out of here. Yeah, we don't need any of this. We don't need any of this coupler. We can just ungroup this all. Uncollide this. Massless. Get rid of all this. Coupler. Get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, we just got massless at all. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy in here and we're going to just plop it in. This is our... So what this is it's basically just like the row scale couplers, except the row scale couplers kind of... I don't like the way that the whole coupler is colored. I think that's kind of like goofy. I think that's quite silly. I don't like that look. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making something that like looks... It almost looks like one of those like things, like an EOTD or whatever. That's kind of what I'm going for, but just something that like looks like good. But basically, this is we're going to do a test here, and we're going to see if this actually does like make the couplers behave better. Okay. I'm going to be honest, I have an F40 in my TC, and you come in and you're like, better F40. I don't like that. I'm sorry, but like, I know that was not your intention, but like, that is that does peeve me. Okay. Now we're gonna see how this. Okay. We're gonna see how this works if we use first. I think this might just come down to. Oh, I see why they might be around. The last curve might be around because it's on that curve. There you go. It was just inserted. Oh. Oh. Huh. Okay, that's cool. What font did I use? Okay, I used a different. But basically, I'm a little bit lazy here, so I'm gonna be real. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna. Or just get rid of the couplers on this. Get rid of that coupler because we need that coupler to connect to the rest of the ones. We'll do is we'll have this one will have a coupler here just so we can connect it up with the rest of the train. Does this have the script? Yes, this is the correct script. I'm gonna group it, and I'm gonna. This is the F7 to put it under, and then boom. All right. This should work. 1-to-1 performance test between the couplers. Yeah, the stream is delayed. I don't really care. It's fine. Yeah. This is definitely more forgiving. It might be having this issue just because of the difference in height. That's a problem I've noticed. Yeah, there we go. Wow. Okay. If I've been going at speed and those were, I'm actually quite impressed. I'm actually quite impressed. I'm actually quite impressed because of that. So wow. I might have to switch to this system, and it's much more efficient too. It's only I just use whatever diagrams I find. What? How come? My mic is really choppy. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, my mic's a couple years old. I'm not a professional. I'm just putting this out there in the game. That's the whole impetus behind all these streams. It's just like so I'm actually working on the game because it's like think about it. I mean, if I wasn't doing these streams, you wouldn't know what's going on. You just think I'm just sitting around. And in reality, I do actually work on the game quite a lot, and I think these streams show that. Well, probably because I haven't really, until recently, I haven't actually been building a lot of EMDs. So I guess I haven't really seen a need. What is what? My mic is really choppy. Yeah, no, I know. Okay. What is what? Oh, that's what you're talking. Okay. Oh, that's like the. Somebody was making the weird NJT GP40 things where they have the F40s and the GP40 cabs. That's what that was. They were trying to make it. Oh yeah. I really actually, I think I'm gonna be purposely kind of aggressive with these cars, and I'm gonna see how hard it is to get them to derail. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try and play it as like a normal player, but like still be like, okay, yeah, no, that is. I'm sorry, that's just objectively better performance thing to do. That is just objectively better. I think yeah, what I think it is World Couplers are built for 6 stud. They're built for full size. Road skill couplers are built for mini size kind of thing. I mean, this is you. If I do this, hold on, let me see if I can do this. Scale. If I do this, do I have admin? I do not have admin on the team. hold on. I will show you something. I want to show you something how to give you an idea of how much the character has shrunk. I don't think anybody's ever actually seen this before in the context of this game. I've shown a couple people. I haven't shown this on stream. I want to just. This is with. So what I had right now was a character script that like shrinks you down. This is what happens when I don't shrink you down. This is how big you are compared to the model. Like these are essentially like little. They're like almost like the trains you can ride on. It looks like it's like an amusement park ride size. Like this is what I look like when I go in the cab without shrinking the character down. This is a beautiful image, by the way. This is beautiful. Also, the GUI here on the conductor seat, it just gets rid of it. There won't be that. Sorry if you, on the off chance that the one person watching the stream is really disappointed about that, I'm really sorry. Okay. Okay. You know what I mean. Don't be silly. Okay. At this point, I usually cut the stream. I usually get to like 8:30. I've found, but I kind of want. I'm thinking right now about the couplers. I'm thinking I might switch the couplers to pro scale. I'm thinking I might. I'm really thinking I might. I think it's a cool idea, and I think it would be a good idea. That's why I need to get a randomized spawner because I'm gonna have to go in and I'm gonna have to remake the preset contests. And this is gonna be the third time I've had to go in and remake the preset contests. And I really am not looking forward to that. I really just want to like get a randomized contest up and running. There's this one issue that just keeps cropping up, and I'm actually like at the point where I'm gonna like pay someone to fix it because it is actually it's an issue and it's a roadblock. And once I think the randomized spawner will be one of the single greatest upgrades. It will be incredible when it happens. But yeah. Got new couplers. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm gonna cut the stream right now. So we got a lot. We got. We did announce some big things. Sorry if I'm choppy. I know I'm probably choppy right now. Sorry about that. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you on the next stream. And have a good night. Oh, actually, who's watching now? Somebody else is watching now. No, but the stream is ending. Hope you all had a good night. Have a good Friday night. I'm off to have spend my Friday night. After spending it with you all. And I hope you have a very good night. And I hope you will be playing beta version 2 of Erie Lackawanna very soon when it comes out. It's it's progressing. It's progressing. It's progressing with every stream, and eventually it will be done. So good night to you all, and have a uh, friendly service Saturday tomorrow. I don't know, something along those lines. Good night.